I also expect everybody in my community to be millionaires. I expect it. I can't expect these things and not put in the work for me to develop to be a better leader. Because guess what? It's not good enough for me to make an M. If you're a leader, and this goes for all the, I don't care if you're a pastor, a CEO of a company, I think it is in our best interest to learn how to get to M's, right? For one, if it's especially if it's financial driven, learn how to get to an M first yourself. Learn the process that it took for you to get to the M. All of the work, all of the manpower, all of the hours that it took. Learn those things. All of the marketing that you had to learn. Learn those things. All right. Then start putting everything together. All right. If it took you 2 years to get to an M, what all did you do within that 2 years worth of time? What type of a person did you become? And then you start to build your community to become that type of person. The better off, the faster they learn how to become the person that they need to become to get to an M. Guess what? It's going to start trickling down out. It's going to start trickling down to other people. That's why I expect for all of the people in my community to have their own community. This thing is supposed to grow. Whenever people are successful, like real, true success, when you're truly successful, it affects everybody attached to you. It should not just end with you. Man, welcome to the Man Lucrative Podcast. I'm the host, the one, the only Magneto 7 in the building. What up? Let me see. Hold up. Listen, I got a lot. I'm laughing because literally, I've been telling y'all for the longest. If y'all are watching the show on YouTube, y'all are missing the whole pre-show. The pre-show is fire. If I do say it to myself. And everybody on TikTok, I'm about to shout y'all out. Everybody in the super chats, I'm going to shout y'all out. All my Patron folk, what I'm going to call them? Lucrative Patron? Huh? Mad Patron? Man, we got to figure out something to call everybody on Patreon, but shouts out to everybody out. I'm going to shout y'all out at some point. But I'm in between a laugh. I'm in between a laugh because during the pre-show, I did a whole set list of 80s records, right? All 80s records. I started with Prince, then we went to Morris Day in Time, then we went to Rick James, and went back to, it was just a lot. We did a lot of 80s records, and it was fun. It was fun if I do say so myself. Right? But the last record that I played before, you see this finger? This finger right. The last record before I started a podcast for YouTube, the last record was Fire and Desire by Rick James. Yep. So, shouts out to Rick James, Buffalo, New York, in the building. What it do? I'm not from Buffalo. I love Buffalo, but I'm not from Buffalo. But shouts out to Rick James. It's a certain part of the song, and the song was Fire and Desire. That was the last song that I played before I started the podcast. That was the last song that I played before I started the podcast. Fire and Desire by Rick James, right? So, it's a certain part of the song. Shouts out to Lulu. What up, Lulu? But, so I'm playing the record. And it gets to the climax of the song, right? It gets to the climax of the song. And immediately, I saw it's just like the whole room got cloudy. And I was like, wow, wait, what is this? So, when Tina Marie, it's a certain part, y'all know the song, it was baby for pleasure. And, that's what I used to do, all that stuff, right? Use them and abuse them. And then I just see Rick. I gotta say certain things with the code. I'm gonna have to use code word because when it hits YouTube, they're like, you're promoting drugs. You're promoting drug paraphernalia. So I gotta speak in code, right? So let's just say let's see who we got. Candyland. When I talk about a certain thing, a certain substance, I'm gonna just say Candyland. Y'all know what I mean by that. And if I say Mary Jane, y'all already know what Mary Jane is. So Candyland and Mary Jane. Candyland and Mary Jane. So at the end of Fire and Desire, I immediately just saw Candyland just spread the whole room. I said, it is a lot of candy on top of this track. I imagine the studio session was like this. Rick James came in, snakeskin shirt, leather pants, cowboy boots, jerry curl, freshly done. And he comes in and says, uh, Tina Marie, you got something for this? What you got? You got something for this song? Tina Marie said, yeah, cut the track on. Cut the track on. I got something for you. Cut the track on. So they play the record. I wish I could play the record so bad, but if I play the record, it's gonna get muted on. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it like this. What we'll do in post, we'll mute this part of the pod on this part. Mute this part when we do it in post, and then we'll come back to it. So I imagine as soon as this part came on right here, as soon as this came on, Tina Marie said, "Play the track, play the track, play the track." Woo-wee! Now, Rick, what you want to do with this? Rick, what you want to do with this? Rick say, just wait, just listen to me talk. Let me talk. I'm gonna talk right here, right. Tina Marie like, do you want me to sing? Am I singing yet? He said, just wait. So it's still going. Are you gonna give me the song, Rick? Are you gonna give me the lyrics? Just wait. Insert line right here. Woo. I said wait, just wait. I just imagine Rick James being mad extra in the studio. He's probably mad extra. But anyway, when Tina Marie's part comes in, let's fast forward to her part. Right here. All right, Tina. I have finished my part. I'm done talking. I done sung my verse. Now this is where I want you to come in right here. That's what I'm talking about right there, Tina. That's what I'm talking about. Insert line. Then the whole room just got cloudy. Just like, what are we doing today? Huh? I don't know. Are we recording the song? Tina, you just recorded your verse. Oh, I did? Y'all got to see, if y'all saw the image in my head of them going back and forth in the studio, whole room full of clouds, if you know what I mean. And it's just, I hear and I see things differently. But anyway, we're in the podcast. Cheryl, I just saw lines everywhere. Woo! What's the dude from Nature Boy, huh? Ric Flair. Woo! But Anyway, welcome to the Mad Lucrative Podcast. This is episode 141. 141. Mad Lucrative Podcast, 141. So anyway, hopefully everybody's weekend was amazing. Hold on, what is this? Yeah, hopefully everybody's week was amazing, because by the time y'all see this, it'll be late. That's why you got to tap into what I'm doing. You got to tap in. I'm using my Ray Charles voice. You got to tap into what I'm doing, because if you don't tap in, then you're late. You're going to be late to the party. And everybody remember Nene Leakes? No, it wasn't Nene Leakes. Who was the girl from Housewives of Atlanta? Who did? Don't be lying for the money. What was her name? White lady from Cheryl, help me out. What was the white lady's name from Housewives of Atlanta that did Tardy for the Party? And Candy said, "You're going to give me all of your publishing." She said, "I'm not going to pay you nothing." And Candy said, "You're going to pay me my money." I was sending a cease and desist order on your whole everything. Kim. Thank you, Angela. Thank you. That was a hideous song. All right, truth moment. All right. Hopefully Candy never watches this part. Candy probably will never watch my podcast. So thank God she'll never watch the podcast. I'm not her demo, so I can talk about it. It's amazing to me how she gets certain songs off. Like, I'm not gonna dig. I respect Candy. Stand for Black women. This is Women's Month, right? It's still Women's Month. I'm not gonna make it funny, I promise. This is Women's Month. Men's Month is the whole month of April. Shouts out to us. You gotta sneak it in there. You gotta hide the candy. You gotta hide it in the candy. Put the medicine in the candy. But anyway, we are gonna talk. I got sidetracked last week a little bit because I tried to do a coaching call with the guy, and I ended up having to block him. I had to block him Um, Unfortunately, he was a bum. All right, no, he wasn't a bum. He wasn't a bum. This is the thing. This is the thing. At the end of the pod, and everybody on YouTube, thank God we edited that joint out. Because if y'all heard the conversation, y'all would look at me in a different way. You'll be like, yo, Nito is a mean guy. He's a big back grizzly man. He's a grizzly man. It was. So here's the thing. And this is for everybody moving forward. Everybody moving forward because the platform is growing. Y'all remember the last podcast I had the 10,000. We just hit 10,000 subs on YouTube, right? I did all of that. 10,000 subs on YouTube. I did all that. Then I said I'm going to introduce something new. The something new was the Patreon. That was one thing, something new. And then I got some more stuff coming up, more shows, more everything. But anyway, I was in the middle of coaching the dude with a book. He had an ebook. And something new that I'm gonna start doing on the podcast is I'm going to be doing I'm gonna try to do 15 minutes. It might go over, but I'm gonna try to do a 15-minute coaching call with the small business on every episode. 15-minute coaching call with the small business on every episode. Just for one, so people can understand that you're not out here alone. You're not out here alone. There's a lot going on. It's a lot of money that's being lost. It's a lot of people that's hard up. It's a lot of folk that lost their jobs, whether that's with anything, right? So I want to do these coaching calls. For one, if a listener outside of who's getting the coaching call listens to the clips on social media, on YouTube, wherever you hear the clips at, you might hear one of those clips, and that might be one of those clips that'll change the way you look at your business, or it'll change the way you move on social media. It'll be more of a focused energy when you're moving around. So I said, you know what? Just like I do the artists with the music reviews, I said I'm gonna do small business the same way when I do the podcast. Right? You gotta give. If you give, then you shall receive. If you give, then you shall receive. That is a fire song. That should be a song. If you give, you should receive. If you give, you should. That might be fine. But anyway, so I was in the middle of doing a coaching call with the guy last week, and he starts to battle me while I'm doing the pod, and I'm just like, yo, it sounds like you have chosen the victim route. So it sounds like you have sold yourself to the victim mentality mindset. It's very few things that I can do to help a person that sold themselves to being a victim. There's very few things that I can do for a person when they've sold themselves on the idea that nobody's here to help them. Bro, he kept saying, and I'm not gonna make this a whole recap about him because I'm still gonna shout y'all out and all that stuff. But I just gotta recap for a second. Just for a second, give me a break. So I'm just like, bro, why are you coming back and forth with me if you're telling me that you ain't selling no books? And I'm telling you what you can do to sell the books. Why would you just listen? Just listen, big dog. Just listen. If I give, you shall receive. That can sound a little narcissistic. I understand it. That's not what I mean by that. But no, for real, like, I can't count how many times I've asked somebody for some advice, right? And when the person starts to give me the advice, I shut up. I shut up and I'm like, all right, I'm listening to you because you clearly have gotten further than where I've gotten to. So I'm going to listen to you for a second, see what you got. You might have a proposal, you might have an offer, you might have something that's life-changing for me in the moment. So I'm going to listen. I'm going to sit right there and I'm going to listen. This dude did not want to listen at all. He was just like, man, what do you mean? I mean, all I'm doing is asking you for some money. And after a certain part of the conversation, I said, you know what? I would never invest in you. There it is. I said it. I would never invest in you. You know why? It's certain this. And I'm that. This is why I wouldn't invest in you. And I was just saying, I would prefer that you fix some of these things about what you're doing and how you're going about it. So when you come across the next version of me or somebody else like me, the book guy, that's what I'm talking about. If you come across somebody else like me or the next version or like, let's just say this. And I like to do hypotheticals and we will start the podcast. We will start. Shouts out. But a hypothetical, right? This is a hypothetical. Let's say this dude was doing all the work that I asked him to do. Start building a personal brand because we all know, he didn't know, but we all know if you start working on your personal brand online, it makes it easier for people to understand what it is you stand for. It makes it easier for people to find you, for one, online. And then You have a track record. You have a whole catalog of these are the things that I've been doing for the past couple months, past couple years. These are the things that I've already done by myself. Now, when I need your investment, when it comes to you investing into me, I need you to invest in these things right here because I've already gotten this far by myself. When you put another $10,000 into this, or you put another $20,000, or you put another $30,000 into this thing that's already moving, now it's gonna 10x. We get 300,000. We get 400,000. But what he kept wanting to do is choose the victim route. I said, you know what? You sold yourself. You sold yourself on being the victim. Keep doing your thing. And then after I got off the live, I politely blocked him. I muted every conversation because he tried. Yo, bro, it ain't what I meant by that on the live. No. He was mad angry. But this is the thing. I'm okay with people asking me for money. I'm okay with that. Everybody should be okay with anybody asking them for money, period. You should be okay with people asking you for money. I'm going to tell you why. Who controls your pocket? You control your own pocket. Nobody outside of you controls your pocket. Well, technically the government, because they tax you. They can double tax you. They tax your money, they tax you on the houses, tax you on the cars, tax you on the food, tax you on the gas. Technically, okay, the government can't control your money, right? But outside of them, you are the only person in charge of your funds. So if somebody comes up and asks you for $10 and you got $10 in your wallet, you can politely decline or you can politely give them the $10. It's up to you. And that's all I was just like, bro, you going about this the wrong way. I kept saying you going about it in the wrong way. Hold up, what Angela say? Angela say he should have lit. Yo, so yeah, y'all were here too. Everybody on Super Chats, y'all were here. This is, and some people, the more I do this online, this whole internet stuff, this whole social media stuff, the more I do it, the more I understand the psychology of people and how they move. And also, not only how they move, it shows me how they react to certain conversations like this, tells me why they are where they are in life. Everything I need to know about a person, when it comes to this social media stuff, it tells me everything I need to know. Because guess what? I was looking at his page. I think he said he sold like 1,400 books or 1,200 books or something. $1,400 or $1,200 worth of books, right? I wanted to tell him I had 1,400 people look at my page to buy books in the first day. The first day I released my book, I had 1,400 people looking at the page. The people that went through checkout, probably 30, 40 people already had purchased my ebook. So for me, I'm just like, why? And I was selling this is the thing. I was selling my book for 2 times the price of his. Why do you think people automatically wanted to go to my site and buy the ebook as soon as I released it? And I wasn't even working TikTok yet. I wasn't working TikTok. I was barely working Instagram. All I was working was, yo, this is what you could do. I'm meeting people in Kroger. I'm meeting people at Walmart. I'm always telling people in the drive-thru. I come to the drive-thru, Dunkin' Donuts. Yo, you listen to podcasts? Listen to Mad Lucrative Podcast. Let me know what you think. Next time I come to the drive-thru in Dunkin' Donuts, what they say? I like your podcast. You're a funny dude, right? People have to understand products don't move themselves. People can't even move products unless you have done the work on yourself. He ain't want to do the work. But anyway, welcome to 141. All right, so let me shout everybody out. Angela, what up? Matthew, what up? Big Dave, what up? Timmy, Big Tim. Hey, I need to get like a monster truck in my backdrop just for you, Tim, because I love you, dog. Big Mike, what up? Did I say Big Mike already? Big Mike, what up? And that's all I got right now because I did start the chat a little bit late. I started late. My apologies. Don't unsubscribe to me because I started late. Do not unsubscribe because I started. But anyway. Mozart, what up? Mozart L4, what up? Cheryl, hey girl. The famous TF. The famous DF. TF. What up? Bishop 3, what up? Tally Marcos, what up? All right, I think that's everybody. Again, like I said, the chat is slim right now. It is slim Jimmy right now. But anyway, I did have a few things that I did not cover for my whole 10,000 subs anniversary, right? I wanted to cover more things last week, and let's shine some light on it this week because I didn't get a chance to get to it last week. More AI news, more AI news. So I don't know, and this is a whole series now. At this point, it's a whole series because I keep talking about AI and how it's affecting us in the creative space. So, everybody in TikTok, please stay for the live. We're gonna have some fun. Everybody in super chats, y'all already know what time it is. I'm gonna give it up. Everybody on Patreon. So on Patreon, y'all are new to this. Let me show you how I do things. When I do my shows, when I do every podcast, I normally have some type of news that's gonna affect musicians in a good way or in a bad way. Every time I do a podcast, I'm gonna have a certain section or a certain segment of the show that's gonna affect musicians in a good way or a bad way, and I like to shine light on those things. Then I might have a little bit of current events, and then I'm gonna do some motivational, and I'm gonna encourage you at the end because I believe you have to get some type of encouragement when you're listening to podcasts. Now I ain't gonna front. I listen to dumb podcasts every now and then. It's certain podcasts, it's just dumb airhead pods that I listen to. But on average, I listen to a lot of informal podcasts. Like if y'all saw my playlist on YouTube, like the pods I listen to, it's a lot of like NPR, CNN, all of the stuff that could possibly affect us. I listen to those pods first, and then I go to like a Joe Budden, people like that. I love Joe. But anyway, on to some money. Everybody has been paying attention, and I'm a little bit late to the party, but I'm gonna still talk about it. Everybody has been paying attention to the headlines. First, we saw, and I'm gonna give some claps in between because I think it's funny. Some of this is funny. Some of it, I'm like, I saw it coming. And after this, I'm gonna show y'all what I think we could do about it. But anyway, we saw the Tyler Perry put a pause on the 800 million. Then we saw Apple stop the $1 billion production on the whole Apple car. Then we saw Universal pull the music from TikTok. I thought that was a spade move. I said, "Oh, wait, we getting spicy." I said, "Oh, Santa Claus laughed." Right? Santa Claus laughed. When Universal pulled the music from TikTok, I said, "Okay, this is getting interesting. Where are we about to go?" Because when I look at that, right, this is how I process all of this information. When there's a person or a higher ups do a certain thing, it's gonna affect us in a certain way. Microphone turned up to the max. I appreciate it, dog. But when I see certain people like the Tyler Perry or Universal Music Group or Apple or Google or all of the tech companies start laying people off, I say, okay, this is getting interesting. What are we about to do? It is a whole thing. It's a guy in my lucrative community called Goliath. He and I have some wonderful conversations centered around AI, right? And I'm slowly seeing how everything can develop. I'm going to even backtrack before this. Remember when we all were stuck in the house and they said, yo, you know what? Y'all better not leave the house. If you leave the house, I'm going to give you a ticket. And if I give you a ticket, you're going to get locked up. If you're in New York, guess what? It's up. Put your hands behind your back. You're going to spend the night over here for the night. You're going to spend the night over here, right? That's what they were trying to do during the pandemic, right? So I said, this is getting interesting. Because when I see companies or I see the higher ups, because if I say the G word, then YouTube would kill my algorithm. YouTube, literally, I will go from like 2,000 to 3,000 views on a podcast to like 10 or like 18. When I mention the G word, if y'all don't know what the G word, y'all can spell it out. In the whole joint. Seriously hurt my ears. Okay, cool, whatever. But anyway, I'm looking at how everybody was ostracized and everybody felt like they had to be in their own space. Everybody had to be at the house, right? I said, what is this going to do for the economy, for one? What is this going to do for our psyche? What is that going to do for our psyche? And then for two, what is that going to do for everybody that's in the service industry? Everybody in the service industry. I'm talking about servers, the food restaurants, all those people, uh, even like the drivers, even the drivers for like Amazon. I said, what is this? I said this during the pandemic. I said, what is this gonna do for those people? Because guess what? Pandemics can't last forever. You got to get back to the basics at some point. You got to get back to what we're actually doing. You got to get back there at some point, right? So I said, watch. I bet you people gonna be afraid to go back to work. And then guess what? Some folks said that they were afraid to go back to work, but then you had some people like me that took advantage of the opportunity to work from the house and start figuring out how to get a bag from the house. What did that do? That made us not have to spend gas money because spending gas in my truck, I got a pickup truck, full extended cab. Like my joint's big. I got a big truck, right? I said, yo, I've been spending, what up, Kay, what up? I was telling people, I said, yo, I'm spending about $600 a month in gas. $600 a month in gas. Just gas in my truck. We're not even talking about the maintenance, wheels, everything else that goes along with this. I said, it would be nice if I had the opportunity to work from the house. I said that. I said it'd be nice if I had the opportunity to work from the house. Guess what? I work for the state. They say, you know what? We're gonna do swing shifts. Y'all gonna work 1 week, and then y'all gonna have the other people work 1 week, and everybody gets the same pay. What do you think that did for the average person's brain and how they thought about things? If you can work, if your team work week 1, and then the next week comes and the other team works, and you stay at the house. You can create another source of income from the house while you sitting. Then the third week, you go back to work like they were doing that, right? I said, yo, it's going to be up because people going to get spoiled. And I forgot to add. We were doing swing shifts like this and getting the same amount of pay as if we were working 40-hour work weeks. As if we were working 40-hour work weeks, we were still getting the same money. I said, oh, yo, it's about to be up. Because what happens for me, because I did not always have a 9-to-5 job. I have not always had a 9-to-5. The majority of my life, I've been an entrepreneur. The majority of my life, right? So I know what it feels like to wake up in the morning. You get up out the bed, got your robe on, walk to the kitchen, make you a cup of coffee, go downstairs to the studio, crank out some beats, send the beats out. You get a 50 Cent, you get an Eminem, you get Kai, you get Kaiser over at Atlanta. You get people respond, yo, I like this beat, this, right? You start going back and forth. Then you sell the beat. But you did all of that from the house. Or you go to a studio session. But even in that, it's a certain level of fun that goes into it. We gotta stop fronting like all music business just work. It is, a lot of it is fun. So let's put that in there. But I knew what that felt like before I had to go get a 9-to-5. I went and got my 9-to-5 because my family didn't have health insurance. We didn't have some of the regular things that you need to survive as a human. We didn't have those things. And then by the time we had a daughter, I was like, oh, I got to get a 9-to-5. I got to straighten up. I got to go get to this bag. I got to go get it, right? Did that. So I knew what that felt like. Everybody around me on my 9-to-5 never felt that feeling before. So now when you do these swing shifts, you start saying, oh, I could be at the house. I could just cut the grass. All my rednecks, I could just make some beer. Make beer. I can go hunting. Oh, this is gonna be a swing week. This is a swing week where I don't have to work. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go down to South Georgia. We're gonna go hunting. I'm gonna go shoot me some deer. They were doing that, right? I said, yo, it's gonna be up. As soon as everything gets back regular, it's gonna be up. Guess what? We're here now. We're here. But something else that I noticed, and this might be a conspiracy pod at this point. This might be a conspiracy pod. But something else that I noticed is the more people were rebelling against a certain system, I'm going to just say it like that. I can't say the name of the word. I'm going to just say a system. The more people rebelled against a certain system, the more everybody started to go towards a certain thing that resembled freedom. This other thing that resembled freedom was entrepreneurship. But something else I noticed. I said, okay, well, they handing out the stimmy checks. Everybody in the hood had the stimmies. They were going out going crazy with the stimmies. I said, y'all got the stimmies? Like, I was shooting a podcast at that point. I was joking on the hood. I was like, I done literally seen everybody in the hood buy Dodge Chargers. Everybody in the hood had a Dodge Charger during the stimmy season. I said, all right, cool, whatever. All right. All of this stuff started to happen. I said, yo, it's going to be up as soon as it gets regular, because I automatically knew. I felt like it was coming. I just didn't know how deep in debt the G word. I didn't know how deep in debt the G word allowed us to get. And then I didn't know how deep in these companies were starting to work with AI and robotics and tech. All of the things they were implementing. I kept saying this. I said, yo, while everybody's sitting at the house, I guarantee you Amazon, Tesla, all these companies have been working on tech to replace your black A. They said, nah, you lying, bruh. You can't replace me. You can't replace humans. You can't. I love the hood. I really love the hood. I love it. The hood told me, it said, bro, you can't replace human, bro. What you mean? Like, bro, like, nah, bro, like, you gotta have somebody to work the robotics. Like, you gotta have somebody to work it. I was like, you ever heard of a thing called AI and programming? And like, like all of these things working together and then code? Have you ever heard of these things? They're like, what that mean, bro? What that mean? You still gotta have a human. I said, watch. Guess what? Officially in 2024, we're here. We're here. And now I didn't even realize that we're to the point where robotics and AI is so advanced. It's so advanced where you can do, I'm not going to say that, not on not on YouTube. I'm not going to do that. Nope. I have learned. But we're so advanced now where you can program something in Decatur and it'll happen over in Egypt. Or you could program something, and it probably seems like this is mad basic. This is a basic conversation. Right. That is the issue. The fact that this is the norm now, and people, it's happened. All of these developments have happened while everybody has been looking at Risa Tisa. While everybody has been looking at how tight Shannon Sharp's clothes are, all of these developments have been happening. But everybody's looking at who's having the viral moment. Oh yeah, Money Long, which I love Money Long, so I don't think I'm trying to play her. But yeah, Money Long got the Grammy. She got a daughter. Oh, she got a daughter on the joint. Oh, did y'all just see Kanye had his daughter? She about to have an album come out. Oh, it's gonna be great. While all of this stuff has happened in front of our face with the media, they've been doing this. They've been mixing it up. Like, we're gonna mix this. We're gonna mix this right here a little bit. And we're gonna, after we mix this, okay, what that look like? Yeah, the equation's good. Let's test it out. When y'all think you're gonna test it out? We all think they're gonna test it out. That's my question. That's my only question. So now, fast forward. We're gonna go back. Universal pulling their music off of TikTok. I said if Universal pulled the music off of TikTok, who is going to fold first? Right? Now watch this. This is the coldest thing ever. Are y'all listening? Everybody on Super Chat, y'all listening? Tim, you listening? This is the coldest. I told musicians in last night's music review, everybody in last night's music review, I said, yo, y'all think that the labels will not exist? Y'all think the labels will be null and void? I said, y'all think that could really happen? Tim says, this is a very intriguing conversation. Appreciate it, bro. But I told the musicians last night, I said, do y'all really think that labels ain't taking a note of what y'all moving and how everybody's saying, yo, I'm an independent artist. Oh, nah, you know what? Forget all that. I said, all they will do is either get in bed with the company or they'll go buy the company. Whether that's DistroKid, whether that's CD Baby, whether that's Apple Music, think about it. Apple Music, who runs Apple Music? Y'all go do this. Y'all go do your due diligence and come back. Y'all tell me who runs Apple Music, and you're proving my point. You're proving my point. But we got Apple Music, and y'all think the labels is gonna be like they ain't gonna be a part of this? Oh yeah, they're gonna be up. It's gonna be up. It's even to the point where Again, back to TikTok, pulling the music from Universal. Universal pulling the music from TikTok. They said, you know what? Y'all been playing us, and y'all are really supposed to pay us more bread, right? But y'all trying to spin the narrative when it comes to media, and y'all saying that Universal ain't paying the artists, but in actuality, y'all holding more of the bread. So they say, all right, cool. We're gonna pull the music. Now, watch this. Have y'all been looking at what's going on in the government? The G. Have y'all been paying attention to what's going on in the G? And all of these new bills they proposing, and I'm going to pull this. Have y'all been paying attention? This is the coldest move ever. This is some old mob style type stuff. This is fire. But have y'all been paying attention? Angel says, indeed. Tim says, yep. Mike says, no, I have not been paying attention. All right, I'm about to tell you. Have y'all been paying attention on TikTok? What up, Honcho? Have y'all been paying attention? All right, so if y'all have not been paying attention, do the timelines. Just look at the timelines. And I wish we don't have to figure out something fly to do with these clips, because these clips is like some gems for real. These are gems. All you got to do is look at the paper trail, though, for real. I'm not saying nothing impeccable. All I'm doing is I'm sitting and I'm observing where the money is going. And when I say the money, I'm not talking about artists spending $200 on a song. I'm not even talking about a label signing an artist for $1 million. I'm not talking about none of that. I'm talking about the money. I'm talking about the money. If you don't understand the money. The money that has the ability to put us $2 trillion with the T. The money that has the ability to put us $2 trillion in debt. I'm talking about that money. That's the money I'm talking about, right? So look at it. Look at the timelines. First we saw Universal pull the music from TikTok. They said, all right, cool. You know what? We can't come up with no negotiation. That's how they spun it. But I'm like, oh, now I see what they were doing. They said, we can't come up with a negotiating price, so we're going to pull our music from TikTok. Ha, right? Universal did this. All the artists is signed to Universal. All of the publishing deals is on Universal. People said, I'm mad. I'm not going to be able to get some of this money. I'm not going to be able to get it. I said, wait one god dang on minute. What's probably going to happen is something will either happen with the platform, or the negotiation it'll be a secret negotiation that we'll never hear nothing about. All artists will do is they'll see that their percentage that they would get paid out dwindled. It'll go from 0.0035% to like 0.0012%. Artists will see it dwindle down. But guess what? Everybody is going to they'll have the sheet over their eyes. And they're like, yo, look at my Spotify numbers. Look at my Spotify numbers. Look at. I got to bring Mr. Candy into the building. Look at my Spotify numbers. What you know about these numbers, right? Right? I said, if it's going to be one of those two things. It's going to be one of those two things. But guess what? I never thought about this third variable. They introduced a third variable. Do y'all know what the third variable is? Tim, do you know what the third variable is? Mike says this dude is crazy with it. Thank you. All right, so this is the third variable. If the G says, you know what? Universal, y'all go pull y'all music. Go pull the music right quick. All right, they still moving. You still got people like Magneto7 going live on okay, they still going live on TikTok. Okay, cool. What we're going to do is we're going to just try to we're going to put it out. We're going to put a statement out, and we're going to say we're going to squash TikTok in the US. It's going to be a wrap. We're going to squash the whole platform in the US, and we'll push everybody back to TikTok and back to Facebook. Back to Instagram and back to Facebook. We'll just eliminate the whole program altogether. The whole app just will not exist. When you try to download the TikTok app in the US, they'll say, all right, you know what? It's not available in your territory. You won! That's the coldest thing ever. That's cold. Tim, you see what I'm saying? Do y'all understand what I'm saying? On TikTok? This is specifically for my independent artists. If y'all don't tap into anything that I got going on with the podcast or the music reviews or anything, I don't want y'all to get left behind. Y'all need people like me that have a certain eye for movement. How's the money moving? How's the money moving? Y'all gotta have people like me to take a mental note of what's going on. But anyway, so yeah, look at the timelines. First, Universal pulls the music off TikTok. TikTok says, "Well, we were trying to negotiate, but we ain't want to pay." Or Universal don't want to pay their artists. That's how they flipped it. I said, "All right, cool." Now the G says, "You know what? Instead of y'all doing all that, Universal, y'all got the biggest catalog in America, right? Y'all got the biggest catalog over here, right? Anyway, so y'all got pop, y'all got hip hop, y'all got R&B. Oh yeah, and y'all just signed the company. Y'all just signed the company over in Africa that does Afro beats, right? So y'all got Afro beats. Oh, y'all got all this. So y'all got this. All right, cool. So at this point, what's the point of having this platform anyway? We can just start doing away with it. Everything is happening right in front of our eyes. It's happening right in front of our eyes, but everybody is talking about all the tabloids and all of the fun stuff. Everybody doing that, right? Everybody laughing their way to poverty. Everybody's laughing their way to poverty. And also, that's a good point. Tim said you forgot to mention the layoffs at Universal. Bro, when I tell you this is a world this is a world change movement type of thing going on. This is a world thing. This is not just something over here. This is going to be a world thing. The more people, and I'm including myself in that equation, the more people start to learn how to use AI and the power of AI, and then when you start to manipulate AI with robotics, with screen projections, and when it comes to creating images, when it comes to all of this stuff, and you using AI as an independent person, it's going to be out of here. If you know how to do it properly, you're going to be out of here. I feel like this is the whole exchange of I don't say royalty, wealth. You know how everybody keeps talking about the exchange of wealth? This is the biggest exchange of wealth ever. This is a wealth. You gotta tap into it. You gotta tap into it. I feel like AI is at the forefront of it. AI is at the forefront of the exchange of wealth. And the faster we learn how to use it, the better off we'll be. Yeah. That's my point. I think the faster we learn how to use it, the better off we will be. All right, bro. Have you ever? All right, so I'm not gonna dig into a whole AI conversation right now. Just know. And this is for if it's any independent artist that's in the chat right now. I pray to God that you follow with me right here and on Instagram, because guess what? I foresee in the future that I'm not going to always be right here. I'm going to just say it like that. I foresee I'm not going to always be able to do this with y'all. So I pray to God that y'all follow me on Instagram. Y'all follow me on Threads. Something that's US based. Can't say it like that. Something that's based over here. We got to edit that too. But something that's based over here. I hope that you're following me on those platforms. YouTube, any of those. Because guess what? I foresee a lot of water getting. A lot of it's it's gonna be something different. Yeah, yeah. So and all right. So Big Mike says, what about layoffs and the people that will not have jobs? Where you think they will be able to work after this? This is my suggestion. I'm glad you asked that question. This is my suggestion for anybody that previously worked at Universal, or anybody that previously worked at one of these labels, because all the labels are going to go through some type of layoff season, and all of the labels are going to go through some type of correction when it comes to the market, right? It's going to be a learning season where they're starting to learn how to use AI. It's going to be a learning season where they learn how to implement robotics into this thing over here. It's gonna be a learning season for everybody, right? I suggest for every independent artist, for every business owner that does not have the capacity to reach people on a large scale, hire some of these people that worked at Universal. Especially if they previously worked in marketing for Universal. Hire these people because guess what? They have the brain power, and more than likely they have the relationships with some of the people that you're going to need to progress your career, right? And not only that, if you are actually a good artist and you've done some of the stuff that I've asked you to do, right? Some of the stuff, build your fan base, come up with the product line, come up with your own tours, come up with your own production team, make sure you got your own publishing company. If you've done all of these things that I've been asking y'all to do on a consistent basis, if you've done these things, hire you a person that comes from Universal and let them learn AI along with you. Both of y'all learn AI. And then now you start to work your musical career as a business, or you work your business as a company. Two separate things. A lot of people that's entrepreneurs, I use those with quotation marks. A lot of the entrepreneurs say that they're entrepreneurs and you're really a worker. Let's call a thing a thing. A lot of the entrepreneurs that call themselves entrepreneurs are really just workers. I feel like you really get into entrepreneurship when you start learning leadership. When you learn how to lead people and you learn how to do projections and you learn how to have visions and you also learn how to have a vision but relay the message of the vision. You have to learn how to relay the message of the vision. If you don't know how to do that, you're not going to have people work for you for a long period of time because they're going to get sidetracked. They're going to be like, yo, I'm working for you. What? Like, what? Like, all right, this little paycheck is cool. But where are we going? Right? So I believe in relaying messages. Even with communities, if you're a person like me, I got the lucrative community, right? My lucrative community, I expect for all of my people in my community to have their own community. I expect them to have their own products. I'm going to help them with that. I also expect everybody in my community to be millionaires. I expect it. I can't expect these things and not put in the work for me to develop to be a better leader. Because guess what? It's not good enough for me to make an M. If you're a leader, and this goes for I don't care if you're a pastor, a CEO of a company, I think it is in our best interest to learn how to get to M's, right? For one, especially if it's financial driven. Learn how to get to an M first yourself. Learn the process that it took for you to get to the M. All of the work, all of the manpower, all of the hours that it took, learn those things. All of the marketing that you had to learn, learn those things, all right? Then start putting everything together. All right, if it took you 2 years to get to an M, what all did you do within that 2 years worth of time? What type of a person did you become? And then you start to build your community to become that type of person. The better off, the faster they learn how to become the person that they need to become to get to an M, guess what? It's going to start trickling down out. It's going to start trickling down to other people. That's why I expect for all of the people in my community to have their own community. This thing is supposed to grow. Whenever people are successful, like real, true success, when you're truly successful, it affects everybody attached to you. It should not just end with you. So, that's part of what I'm looking at with all AI, with all of the tech development. I want people as humans, right? As humans, I feel like it's our job to do the human stuff. What is the human stuff? Connect with people. Build strong connections with people. Network, go to networking events. Have products that help people. Everything that's centered around being a person, I expect all of us to do those things. And then let AI come in and make some of the technical stuff easier. You know what? For you to connect with people on social media, you got to have clips. You got to have stuff like this podcast. You got to have this stuff. You also got to have dope events for people to come to, i.e. Invest Fest, i.e. my I don't even have a name for it just yet. But all of the events that's coming up, it is our job to do the human stuff. I think the faster we learn how to do that stuff better and stop dividing each other and say, yo, it ain't worth nothing. These niggas ain't nothing. These ain't nothing. The faster we get away from those conversations and we have conversations that's meaningful, the faster we will understand how important human interaction is. How important human interaction is. If y'all got anything in the super chats that y'all want to talk about, let me know before we end. Everybody on Patreon, what I'm going to do for y'all, if y'all want to send questions in or y'all want to do any type of feedback or whatever, send a email to Mad Lucrative Podcast at Gmail. Mad Lucrative Podcast at Gmail. We'll do that for now. The further on we develop the whole Patreon page, I'm going to have a message board for members and everything. Even for y'all on Patreon, I have merch called No More Poverty Music, right? No More Poverty Music is a hoodie, it's a t-shirt, but it's also a mindset. I believe that if you have 1,000 artists that's creating music that uplifts some type of community or uplifts some type of relationships, when you have those artists that make music like that, it affects us in a good way. But right now, everybody's doing the auto-tune. That's my auto-tune. That's my auto-tune idea. But a lot of new artists are doing that with their music. So I'm taking it upon myself to help them figure out how to find their own voice. The faster I can help them find their voice and they create better music, it affects everybody in a good way, right? By the drones. It affects us by the drones. I always forgot to use this example. All right, and I see y'all questions in Super Chat too. And I think we got a small business that sent the email in a minute. Can you pull that up? I think we got a small business that submitted an email. Just put it on the screen up there. We got a small business that wants a coaching call today. So I will be doing that. But my example, for artists, and my example for artists that's done it right to make people feel something, the best one right now, the best one would be Kendrick Lamar. I feel like Kendrick Lamar has taken it upon himself to do the work. When I listen to Kendrick Lamar's music, I can hear the therapy in it, if that makes sense. When I listen to Kendrick Lamar's music, I hear the therapy. I would say J. Cole, but me and J. Cole kind of on bad terms. We gotta do some course correction with it. Hey Cole, if any of my clips ever touch you, pause. But if any of my clips come across your desk, you know the conversation we need to have. You already know the conversation we need to have. If you don't, I'll refresh your memory. All right. But Kendrick, as it relates to Kendrick, I like how Kendrick does the work via his songs, and then it comes out in the form of an N95. Or it comes out in the form of the love me, like those type of records. I like it because it makes you think about the lyrics. It makes you think about it, at least think. So yeah, and it's more to it than that. But I'm not gonna dig deep because we got to get out of this pod. We are already what are we? How long we been in the pod? Put it on the screen. Where we at? Hour 32 minutes. That's what I'm talking about. So everybody on Patreon, yo, we like to have fun, but we like to give some information too. All right, I pull it up over here. You ain't got to pull up over there. Pull up over here. Let's see. And I got y'all down here too. Your sound for music is way off. What do you mean? Your sound for music is way off. What does it mean? And if you're talking about this right now, I'm not even tied in directly to TikTok. I have super chats on YouTube, which Goliath, when you watch this on the playback, I do want to learn OBS, so I will be taking your course, so I can tie in OBS to TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and all that stuff. So I will upgrade it at some point, but right now I'm just getting the message out. All right. Let's see what you got. Okay, okay. Let's see. We got a small business. Jacob, what up? Jacob Allen. Jacob Allen says, I have a body shop in, I'm not going to say it because I'm not promoting the business right now, but I have a body shop out here and I am trying to figure out how I can start upcharging for my services and products. Currently, we're going through, see, I keep telling you the same thing. He says, currently, we're going through some issues with upcharging on oil maintenance, tires. So you just start listing off the products that you have at your company. All right. How do I know what to charge? Currently, it looks like my customers are coming from a certain area, and this my price point in order for me to make any type of a return will have to be astronomical. Can you help me with this? I can. All right. Thank you for your vivid honesty. Thank you. So, and this is for you, Jacob. Jacob, what I would tell you to do, I would tell you to figure out how many things can you get at a wholesale price. I'm sure you're already wholesaling your oil and your tires, and if you watch this on the playback, this is why I prefer for you to be in my chat so we can talk back and forth. But since you sent the message on email, I'll respond like this. What I look for is I look for holes. I look for holes in certain spaces. Unfortunately, if you're not breaking even with your business and you got a staff, I would have to start doing an assessment. You got to start doing an assessment of who's actually contributing to your business, right? So if you got a worker that's on your job right now and it's a youngin, let's say it's a youngin, and they're not delivering on anything, right? They're costing you more money. They're wasting oil. They're wasting time on the clock. I will start there. Start doing an assessment of the people that's working for you. Then if you see somebody is slacking as far as the business goes, if you see somebody slacking, pull them to the side, see if you have a conversation with them, ask them if anything is going on in their personal life, if they're willing to share information, and if it's something that you can help them with in their personal life, I would use them to catapult a new service or just something extra that you can add to provide more of a pleasurable environment. Because I've never been to your shop, but when I think of not body shop, you do oil changes and stuff like that. But when I think of those shops, I automatically think of you got like a little water jug over here, and then you got like a little coffee stand right here, and you got the TV up on the wall, and everything else around it just seems dirty. It's just a dirty environment. What I would do is figure out what type of products that I could add to the lobby area to start making a little bit of extra money. That's one simple thing, right? So it might be, again, you should be in the chat. I need you in the chat. If you don't have a vending machine, add a vending machine. Vending machine might be like $500. It's not expensive at all. $500, maybe $1,000, whatever. Get a vending machine, add that vending machine in there, and you be the vendor for your own vending machine. Fill it up with the snacks that people might need, especially for the people that's going to be booking appointments at your shop at like 7 o'clock in the morning. That's too early. Most people ain't going to have time to stop and get breakfast. Provide some donuts for them. Simple stuff. Provide some donuts. That might take you up about $500 to $1,000 extra dollars. All right. Now back to the person that's working for you that might be slacking. I would see if they can, if it's a youngin, especially if it's somebody that's like 25 and younger, and they're working for you, and they're a terrible mechanic, but they're a good person. Use the personality of that person to help you market on social media. Have them do a clip, have them do some type of short, say, yo, if you ain't got your tires changed over here, come over here and get your oil changed, and then offer a discount. Offer a discount. Or be specific. Be very specific. You can cater the ad to a single parent mother. Single parent mother. Be specific. If you're a single woman during Women's Month, because we still in March, you're a single woman during Women's Month, and you ain't got your oil change, you trying to figure out how to get all this stuff, come down here. The first 10 people, because it's not going to cost you a lot of money, the first 10 single women that need oil changes, come down here and get an oil change for free. Free on the house, all right? All I need you to do, and this is something that I don't think a lot of people admit. Y'all miss it because y'all not a part of my community, for one, and y'all just come to the music reviews. So when y'all hear me say give stuff away for free, give stuff away for free sometimes with a contingency. In this case, he has a shop where he's doing oil changes and tires and rotating tires, and I'm assuming you do tune-ups and inspections and all that stuff, right? I'm assuming you do that. So if you do that, first 10 women, single women, come down here, get your oil change for free, no strings attached. All I need you to do, come down here, you got to look like something. You got to look like something because I need you on camera. I need you on camera, and I need you to tell the people about how you enjoyed the service while you were over here at my shop. Guess what? They're going to enjoy the service because you just updated your lobby area. I would tell you to even call me because I have an interior design business. If you're in Georgia, call me. My wife and I come over there and do a flip of your shop. Paint the lobby, give you some new furniture. Make it real nice and plush, right? Make it nice. Because the average shop is going to be nasty. Let's keep it 100. The average Jiffy Lube or anywhere you're going to go get your oil change is going to be nasty. It's going to be an environment for men. But what you're going to do is this. Have the women come down there. You do their oil change for free. Make sure it's for free. Don't add no cost to it. People hate when you have a stipulation of cost. You tell them it's free. They show up, it's going to be $20. Don't do that. Make sure it's free for real. Only contingency is they got to look like something. And when they come down there looking like something, you have them do a video. The video, the women are going to say, listen, girl, if y'all ain't got your oil changed, these are some genuine people. The lobby is nice. They got little snacks in here for y'all. This is nice. You post those videos on your social media. You target the women that's in your area that's possibly single. Even some married women, but the married women are normally going to have husbands like me, right? They're going to have a husband like, I ain't going down there. But you target those women because guess what? The average single woman ain't going to have no time to be under no car changing no oil. They need to be women living soft lives, right? You cater to them. You make sure the price point is decent. I guarantee you at the end of the month, you'll have such an influx of customer base that's women that need their oil changes. Guess what? You get them vetted into your system. How about you do a subscription model for oil changes? That boy crazy. How about you do a subscription model for your oil changes? If you drive in a car and it's not an electric car, you're gonna have to have an oil change. With this subscription model, guess what? You not only give them the option to get an oil change, you give them the option to get a tune-up. You give them the option to get the whole 4-point check where they're checking your tires, you're rotating tires. You're also giving them the option to get tires at a discount. You see how this works? And all we had to do in the beginning is offer the oil change for free to 10 women. That's all we did. 10 women, specifically women. Most dudes they're gonna do their own oil change. Except me. I'm not doing the oil change. Nope, sure ain't. No, I'm not. But when you do these type of things, you are now vetting yourself to be a credible source in your own community. All right. Everybody on YouTube, Patreon, we out. I apologize. We going dead. It's cool. I love y'all. I'll see y'all next week. All right, peace. Everybody, see, this is I kind of love when the cameras start dying. I love it sometimes. But so, if y'all need to book a coaching call with me, if you're a small business, tap in with me. As I always tell the musicians, tap in with me. But for Jacob, that would be my 2 cents. If you're trying to sell and you're trying to get your business to thrive again, consider offering a few things for free. Consider offering a few things to a few people for free and watch how your business starts to flourish. The word will get out. The word will get out, right? And even Even some discount things along with the subscription model. It's a lot more that's involved that you could be doing, but you gotta tap in with me. I cannot cover it all just within the podcast. This is just a segment. You need about an hour or two with me. All right. But till next week, it's been real. All right, peace.